I didn't notice this until recently, so forgive me for not bringing it up earlier, but Trigger actually have a Patreon. It seems they do give money to their animators, so check it out in the description. Another of just one of the coolest looking zooming in shots of all time, basically.
運動部第1部隊から第11部隊まで準備完了。大阪制圧修学旅団に配します。
純粋生命繊維であるカムイ鮮血。工事縫製士であるハリメヌイを相手にしての敗北は恥ではない。
Also shows how much she's changed already, that in spite of all of them losing their battles recently, she's still surrounding herself with them all the same.
四天王の皆さんには新しい三つ星国制服を制作中です。最終調整にもう少し時間がかかるため。
Also how the story continues to evolve and grow. New anti-type uniforms are being designed and made, better uniforms in general for normal students, and of course new ones for the elites too.
君満貫色マコ君だね。怪しいものじゃない。僕は凪田真次郎、元新聞部だ。
Back and go for My Hero Academia!
はい、ゆうこちゃん。
How they abruptly interrupt the emotional sounding song playing with this.
先に食べたマタロウたちが、ほら。
人生はバラ色だ。踊れバタロー。スターになってしまえ。
I swear this anime wouldn't be anywhere near as good without this insanely crazy family.
鮮血。私はお前を着ていいのか。
来てください。
Oh god, that's so very, very unexpected. Oh, I love this anime so much.
僕はそれが許せなかったわ。だが校内新聞は。
This is where the story nails its comedy without hitting us over the head with it, as obviously he's doing a cliche drinking alcohol thing here, but doing it with tea instead.
君から受けた勇気は決して無駄にはしない。では。
Two wins here. First up, this was such a funny interaction between them. Secondly, it's because we see the first time how another student has actually been affected by what she's doing. It never hit me before that no one else had even mentioned what she gets up to in a good way.
ありがとうございます。
カムイ鮮血か。ラビエデホール。
Won't directly show it, but it shows the upbringing she had to put up with a mother like, considering she was, let's say, being a bit weird about her clothing, touching it and whatnot.
関西を最後に残すからには理由がある。私の娘ならそう考える。
Take one here for giving us our first, much greater understanding of what her mother's eventual plan is for the world.
さあ、満貫色、その新聞を巻いて。早く。
I'm so happy that she's fully back to her normal self after the events during the second quarter. She's so great.
お前の涙の苦さ、私にもよくわかった。それでも、私は自分が止められなかった。
それでも私を拒否するな。私は龍子に切られたい。
In absolute credit to the manga, one would normally think in this situation it'd be her afraid of him, but no, it's very much the other way around, and that's very unique.
何か思い出したのか？
いや、ただそんな感覚がある。お前の血を吸うたびその感覚。
By the by, just huge credit once more to the absolutely stunning pieces of music in this amazing anime. It really does knock my socks off. That's such a lovely piece that is. It's that little bit of voice acting there that proves why he's one of my favourites in the game right now.
オペの準備よ。母ちゃんオペできるの？誰にでも最初はあるわ。
She's gonna perform surgery. I think I totally missed that the first time. Everyone's gotta start somewhere.
仕方ね。行くぞ鮮血。形ばさみ。ぶっ飛べるの。
I talk about the music and then we get this amazing and slightly altered version of the other song that sounds just as good.
ようやく来てくれましたね、龍子さん。
あまさか貴様。ハリメヌイ、貴様だったのか。
Now that right there is an outstanding plot twist, and amazingly, I also forgot about that one too. I tell you, I think 4 or 5 years is perfect to rewatch something. I forgot loads. Also though, just how stylish is it that they keep the text still in the background there? As you can likely imagine, I also couldn't recall this happening, so that's pretty huge. I mean, it's a win regardless, but I just forgot how she lost so badly like this.
私の命令を聞かぬ者に行うことはただ一つだ。
Here she is yet again in the nick of time to help save her. She's such an interesting character who as time goes on becomes less and less of a villain type.
私から送る言葉はただ一つ。勝て本能寺学園サント制圧修学旅行出発せよ。
Using this slightly after halfway point of the story to introduce the next big storyline, that being the battle against another school and Ryoko's character arc hitting an important juncture. Simply put, how insanely cool that looks as a visual.
ほらまた。
彼ならここだよ。
Honestly, it made me really happy and smiling when I heard his voice and saw him again. I knew he wasn't gone, I remembered that, but I didn't think he was still here now like this. Ryoko looking sick!
同じ学園2年校組担任の姿とは今日でお別れだ。今日からは裸の自分を取り戻す。
Showing this as an example of this amazing voice actor being able to alter his voice so well on the spot. Plus, as always, he's Randy Orlando, and that's a win. I had to give a win for that.
ジャクズレ・ノノン率いる京都制圧修学旅団ガマゴーリイラ率いる神戸制圧修学旅団
Easy win here for showing us, for maybe the first time properly, what the rest of Japan actually looks like, and surprisingly it's very different to where the first half took place entirely. Feels like the mangaka couldn't have better timed the expansion of the story into a wider area, meeting new schools and new people to battle against. Makes a huge difference. That's one of the best damn things about the whole anime, I swear. Oh my god. Dude seriously earned his money voicing this character in this anime. I really hope he did. Normal Japanese dubs are great, but he's on another level with this guy. I'm glad they weren't shown to just be steamrolling the competition across the board. Instead, she was quite up against it here. Interestingly, it's then one of the other Devas who ends up fighting and winning her battle for the school. That's just a great twist tacked onto the last win. This music, the animation, and the effects all come together to create a beautiful scene, do they not? A different citywide scenery shot that looks just as good as the others.
あいにくこっちには大阪のオマハンちゅう強い味方がおってな。ええがこの街のルール教えたる。この大阪は飽きんどの街。
Considering this guy has never really done any voice acting before and he was like 49 years old when he did this role, he actually does a really good job. This is genius. Not only the whole gun angle they took, but the guy pointing out how they're literally using money as a weapon was so damn funny as well. Just when you thought the anime couldn't possibly get any more wild, any more random, they throw these events at us, and I'm utterly and completely head over heels for Kill the Kill. Mako continues to be the best! Ah, they're using pork chops as shields. What is even going on? They're using their giant school rulebook as shields. It's too much. It's gotta be stopped. The fact that when he got up, he too was eating one of them gets a win, I thought to myself, I hope they make that joke, and then they did it. Ryoko bursting onto the scene and how badass they did it. And how quickly she got these parts of the God Road back. That was sick. Originally I was going to include this as part of the previous win, but honestly, that just looks so good it needed its own win. This story couldn't get much more wild if it tried! There's something really peaceful and calming about Mako just enjoying her holiday whilst the city is at war around her. First art style change in a while and I love it! Two wins here. Firstly, you can't have that epic music cut off so suddenly because they're having a chat and not expected to get a win. And secondly, it's because Ryoko basically pointed out the same thing I did about Mako 3 wins back.
最後の一つを持っているのは桐生院皐月だ。
皐月だと。待ってろ。桐生院皐月。
A really cool way within the confines of the story to again make it so that these two have to face one another. It's very clever actually.
ひどいなこれは。桐生院め、全く好き勝手。
While she does become less of a villain over time, it's moments like this that shine a spotlight on her actions as being not all that great either. First of all, there's no two ways about it. That was a super creative way to start the episode. Secondly, going without an OP to give us some extra juicy extra content this episode.
それは違うな。切ったのはこやつらの心だ。分かった方からだ。人を制するのは金ではない。恐怖だ。
She is totally rising up there alongside Ryoko in the most badass character category. Just what I'm referring to when I talk about how insanely crazy this anime is. I mean, it's a giant golden crab thing. There's that art style change I adore so much. He's so much larger than life though. Not only did we get unique transformations, not only did some of them have different transformations after their initial transformations, but now they've got new suits. Something tells me if I didn't include this moment, someone would be mentioning it in the comments. Them in the foreground and all of that in the background just serves to make this look stupidly good. How gorgeous the animation looks as she walks towards her, goodness me! This dude always returns to the anime at the very best points in time, he's great.
と言ってはみたが、あの皐月お嬢さんがそんな甘いことは許してくれるわけはないだろうね。
Getting to see the mechs used by the Nudisto Bicho!
それが僕たちヌーディストビーチだ。
その名前マジか。なんだその格好。
Ah, her two comments there about the name and the mech just had to score its own win. That was so good.
今回のサント制圧修学旅行の真の目的は関西の学園の裏に潜む反抗勢力をあぶり出すこと。
The actual main part of the story steamrolling into play now very quickly and I can't wait. Let's bang out some wins. Firstly, it's your boy's new one. Then it's your girl's new one. Lastly, it's your second boy's new one, and keep in mind I already gave the fourth dude his own win. Let's go. It's like the last decent Marvel movie with this epic battle.
私ももう恐れない。お前も友達ならマコのように私を信じてくれ。
And now we see her turn one of the final corners of her amazing character growth throughout the series in a very sweet moment here. How do they make that look so good though?
見てみろ、この焼け野原を。これがお前の言う野望か。そのための犠牲か。
Take this shot here for the battle as a whole up to this point. It's just, well, you know by now, so much is on display. I love it, but YouTube hates it. Those insane looking damage effects. This is a rare one for me as it's a 2 max wins deal for something I can't even show, but it was for the amazing looking continuous motion shot just prior to this moment, very smooth. How they're so in tune that even while she's falling and knocked out, he's able to essentially activate and ensure she doesn't slam into the ground. See what I was talking about a few episodes ago when I mentioned there being this weird but very cute kind of interaction between them since he lost his battle to Ryoko? Here he proves how unique he is in this anime by pleading with her to retreat from the battle. Normally they just follow her orders without a word pretty much.
これで我々に敵対する愚か者の戦力は潰した。サント制圧修学旅行の目的は完遂された。
Also a great plot twist at the very end of the episode, showing how Nudisto Bicho-sama has been destroyed by Flying Music Girl. Probably the best way I've ever seen an anime to do a recap. That was incredibly well done and quite hilarious. Brand new OP at long last, and personally I find I enjoyed this one slightly more than the first. Excellent clothing related visuals are the focus, and then an even better song to my ears. Getting to see the truth for the first time properly, just how badly affected she is by wearing this clothing for such a long period of time, especially versus Ryuko and hers.
マトイがカムイを着ている以上、奴と戦うには純血を着るしかない。
Dropping a win here as it's actually the first time we hear her say this. I figured it was the case up till now, but this proves she cannot fight effectively against her without it.
さつき様、結構無理してたんだ。
ハリメか。
はい、その通り。
God, I love the pacing of this show. They continue to twist the focus onto the real villains in the story bit by bit until we're basically on her side against them now.
君に全てを見せる時が来た。
That amazing reaction of hers, because the dude is basically in the nip whilst he says this.
でも、私にあるのは、リュウコちゃんとずっと友達だという気持ちで、だからついてゆくのです。
Half the win is for still being such a great friend to her, which I continue to really enjoy, but the other half is for how much stuff she got to take. It's crazy.
Let's skinny diving!
This dude is hilarious in this role, I swear.
よく来てはいるが。
Could be the third, I think, variation of this great song, and they're always so good.
良い肌だ。心を委ねなさい。
She does an excellent job in the role of voicing her mother, makes for a good creepy villain, especially when backed up by impressive visuals such as these. Pretty much exactly the kind of base you'd figure they'd have with their namesake, huh?
その資金でこの組織を作り上げた。
じゃあ。
Another thing I completely forgot, that her father was the one behind the nudist of bichos!
そういうんじゃないと思うぞ。
なんでわかったの？私の頭の中。
I can't ignore that. She knows her so well. She knew what was floating through that brain of hers.
これが根源なるもの。そう。すべての始まり。生命繊維は服となり。 この星を覆い尽くす。
Studio Trigger's lack of CGI in this series has been nothing short of remarkable.
宇宙から来た生命体なんだ。太古の地球にやってきて人類の進化を促したのだ。
Also, they'll definitely take a win for one of the big reveals of exactly what the deal is with the clothing, where it comes from, and everything else.
セーラー服なのに
Alien reference! Showing the dude in so many different pieces of history-related clothing just had to score a win. Someone had to create that in the end of the day.
マトイ博士が私を。ああ、確かにそうだ。
桐生院ラギオが社長を務めるリボックス社の服は世界中のほとんどの国で着られている。
For the big reveal of almost all of the big twists in the story. As far as I can remember, there's only one huge twist coming up later on. Hype! Animating multiple characters moving within one scene.
お母様。
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say, for a 24 episode anime, and considering I'm only 16 episodes in, they've probably done the most consistent art style changes like this. Very impressive. Weirdest one of the video, and a personal one, I clipped this bit years back and only ever found like one time to use it on Anime Sins, but it really made me laugh back in the day, so I kept it. I'm gonna risk falling over by going out on yet another limb here, but listen up. I don't think I've ever seen another 24 episode anime with a better voice cast. Perfection performances.
2ついいことを教えてやろう。
Another odd win, but I do enjoy how this guy has always said throughout the anime, let me tell you two things, and he always has a couple liners he wants to put out there. Another personal favourite ED of mine. I've had this song on my phone for years now. I just love the song, and of course the visuals are simple and pleasing to the eye too. Easy Max wins.
サント制圧修学旅行ご苦労だった。
I often find myself in awe of just how aesthetically pleasing the visuals can be in this one. The wind just casually doing its thing here, albeit it does also make the scene look a lot nicer too.
本能寺学園大文化体育祭の開催である。
I can barely believe we're heading into the final big arcs of the storyline with this, and it only gets wilder.
生命繊維に対抗するには生命繊維しかない。人類の意志に従う生命繊維を作る。マトイ博士と絹江さんはその研究をしていた。
I thought I recalled it being something like this, but not exactly, so have a win for the reveal of why he hates the clothing so much makes a lot of sense.
あの日からだな。すべてが始まったのは早いものだ。いい子だったのだな。あの頃の私は。
The first time we get an actual emotional scene with her, where she's truly being herself in the open, really makes you see her in a different light, that does. All of these people at the bottom are hand done.
無母子生徒及び父兄も全員観客席にて桐生院理事長をお迎えするのだ。
Reminds me a lot of my recent One Piece wins. They did by hand so many unique looking characters when they could have skimped and made everyone look the same or covered them in shadow or whatever.
以上。ちょっと待った。なんだ貴様。
Like father, like daughter. Suddenly he's found himself up there and just shocked at the guy.
聞きたいことがある。
Oh my goodness, what a weird but huge difference it makes when you animate the father properly.
その式典に食事は出るのか。当然だ。
I'm giving that its own win. I don't even care. They really only care about food for the most part.
ああ、口から飛び込んで奴らの腹渡食いちぎってやるよ。
優子。
She remains such a cool character, but I especially love how she's doing it to rescue all of those people, most of whom she doesn't care about other than Mako's family, but says a lot about her. I appreciated the entire segment because for the first time we see the events that are taking place on a worldwide scale rather than it all being focused on just Japan.
でもそこがうちだもん。父ちゃんや母ちゃんにお土産配るんだもん。あ、こらマコ。リュウコちゃんが行くならマコも行く。
Mako being the absolute height of totes adorbs here and how she wants to go back home with Ryoko.
い
そげみんなあとひと踏ん張りだ。そっちはどうだイオリ。さつき様念願の一日だ。なんとしても間に合わせるさ。
It's so cool that we, the viewer, see all of this and think they're planning basically world domination, and then it just makes the epic plot twist coming all that much better. How they seemingly so effortlessly make such grand looking spectacles, they do it over and over again throughout the entire thing. It's so damn impressive. I may only be left with one limb potentially, but I'm going out on another one. I don't think any other anime has so consistently done massive crowds as Trigger has done with this one. Also though, that entrance! This is it! One of the final huge twists in the story coming, and I love it! I really did forget just how damn funny this anime is. One of the best voice acting, animation, and music, and then they have to go and nail the comedy element too, didn't they? I forgot about this massive twist. I knew she went against her, that I recalled, but not that she did this here. I like her wording changed here from a pig in clothing to a pig who serves clothing. That's really clever considering the twists and turns the story has taken along the way. My guy here being a total badass himself, and the further I rewatch, the more I'm understanding why I clicked with him so much by the end of the anime. Also though, another win here for once again choosing to skip the OP for extra content. Firstly, how she set this up to be able to release everyone right away speaks to her immense planning, but also how this family immediately, without skipping a beat, jumped right back into eating. For a kid who can be a bit of a handful at some points in the story, he's insanely sweet and genuinely happy to see the whole family here, and it made me smile. This anime just frickin' oozes style all over the place in moments such as these. It's so damn cool! Funny enough, I've been talking about this lately in this anime and others. Previous enemies suddenly working together is oddly a favourite thing of mine in anime. To say I was jamming to this tune would be selling it so short, I might as well be giving the bloody thing away. She makes for one hell of a villain, considering she's taken on all of them at once, my god! See, there's something there, right? He calls on her of all people to help others. He knows, to some degree anyway, that he can trust her to do that. Getting the mother of all flashbacks here, pun unintended, and it's good revealing a whole lot about her extensive history. That visual, obviously, but also showing us how heartless of a monster her mother is, thinking her child had passed and just merely going about her day afterwards. Not sure I've ever been so impressed so many times over by how stylish looking the visuals have been in an anime.
ケイトを操り人形にしやがった。
精神仮縫いだ。
Another of the biggest twists in the anime I did recall happening. I think there's maybe one more huge one, but obviously take a fat win here for this. We're entering the end now.
飛龍院皐月が反撃を企てていたとはな。だがこうなったら何を倒してくれれば誰でもいい。
I made that comment a little while back about the last good Marvel movie having scenes such as this, but this one is an even more apt win for that. I really hope whoever did the damage effects got a huge raise after this came out. I'm giving that max wins and purely and simply because it's just so damn cool. I mean, seriously, how she breaks herself out of it is amazing.
そんな。
どうしたどうした。
こんな力、なぜ普通の人間が。
It's genuinely so thrilling to watch her become stronger and stronger over the course of the series, and naturally the animation on the start of this fight was top notch too.
本能寺学園応答せよ。
This old man turns out to be a right legend.
でも醜いことなのだよ。
The first time we see her really on the ropes in the show as the tables begin to seriously turn against our heroes and newfound heroes in her and the Four Divas. Do you see what I'm talking about with the voice acting? It's nuts!
マトイリュウか。お前も私と同じ生命繊維と同化したもの。私の娘だったんだよ。
Now, even though that's probably the final twist that I remember happening, it's such a great one that I'll drop it max wins as anything else would just be unfair. Darth Weirdo, Matthew Blancett, Mao Liao, The Elemental Awards, Christopher Willis, Draki, Fancy Turtle, Kepan, Minimasher, Marquez, Orkeeper, Steelers, The Epic Commander, Bird Without a Word, Brandon Creer, Brian Bayot, Cameron, Christopher Tarasa, Commander Cyrus, Doggos for Life, Dragonstorm 35, Emmanuel Gonzalez, Aaron Winters, Guru, I Am Here, Your Edvinson, Kevin Alston, Cumfroik, Carly Welp, Lisa Marie Tim, Luis Minito, Magnus, Nathan Burr, Nightly Winter, Peter Milligan, Ruby Rose, Sataka Yari, Zyonx 44, Sean, The 100s, Tiger Lily Warrior, Subito, Wiccan Faye, Ali 50, Brainless Ben, Cecilia, Cedric, Cloud Garden, Dark Lord Bloody Soul, Devon, Iso, Garrett Vermish, Gibbs, Isel Caldera, Jason Davies, John, Jafford 6263, Calnock, Kevin Nelter, Kevink 102, Knuckle Duster, Chris Madden, KY158, Carl Jones, Laxor, Laxus, Liam Gogati, Lifty, Lionel Schultz, Marvin, Malcarius, Michael Lewis, Modiverum, Mudini, Mr. Firecool, Natsu Dragneel, Nick Monaco, Nick Pell, 9028, Oliver Smiley Reacts, Q Flash, Ryan DeVirus, Sentimento, Storm 970, TRS, The Danish Muggle, Tricky Nicky, Willyman.